Good morning, and thank you to Rabbi Stern. Hi, Friedler's father's here. Welcome. Good morning, good morning. Thank you to Rabbi Stern. We have a Yedidus, a friendship for many, many years. Baruch Hashem, B'siyat D'Shmai, we're close for, I think for 30 years. We're close Yedidim, and he's somebody who I have grown a lot from and with. The Chiyus and Ruchnius, the Eish, pushing forward, the Ben Aliyah that he is, what marks this holy yeshiva. The mark of the yeshiva is people grow here. Neira. Tremendous Aliyah, time and time again. People grow tremendously, and it's Pashut. That's the Rebbe Ron Shlita, somebody from anybody, you meet tons of people, somebody who always just demands himself to grow, to add a Ben Aliyah. It's a mitzias of a Ben Aliyah, a person who grows. And then I learned a whole matzav of people that grow. When my son decided to come over Sukkot, when Hudi decided to come, I had tremendous simcha that he wanted to come learn. And then I see there's a place to learn with Rebbeim, Nasei L'charav, Rebbeim that are growing, that are in it. I see what Hudi, he learns with Rabbi Deutsch, with Rabbi Tabor. He has a Seder with Rav Reisner. Big people, very, very big people. And then I see him. It's no wonder he's steiging and growing. I wanted to talk about the topic because my son is here and has Rebbeim, and the Rebbeim to have here. I want to talk about the topic of Rebbeim. I want to learn a sugya in Brachas Chav Zayin. I'd like to share a chiddush with the chevra that I haven't shared. What this is sugyas I'm learning. We have a chabur I learn with my yeshiva. This is the sugyas we're learning. Tfilas HaShachar in the mornings. First Seder, this is what we're learning in yeshiva. Avi Bait was here. We're part of a chabur. Rai Glazer who learned here, who was Meraimim here, he gives the chaburas. We take turns, right, Glazer, myself, saying chaburas. And these are the sugyas. I want to share a chiddush. I don't know I'm right, but amongst friends, publicly, you don't say azach, you don't know you're right. Amongst friends, lilmud ani tzarich, there's a sugya that's very fascinating to me, and I want to offer a chiddush and something practical that I think is relevant to a Talmud and to a Rebbe. To both it's relevant. An idea, maybe a chiddush, perhaps something, at least, if this is what the Gemara made me think. So I want to share this with the chevra. It's a little bit of a chiddush we haven't sung yet together. Maybe this first, then we'll sing, then maybe something after. The Gemara says a Maisa. Gemara Chav Zayin Amud Aleph from Brachas. The Gemara says a story. And the story goes as follows. Stories in the Gemara are very important. We paskin a Maisa Rav. A story always brings the halacha the most. Something said, there's like a svar l'fishanon is dame nasa Maisa. We said, who said it meant halacha l'maisa? When we see something done and carried out, so it's very powerful. Gadol shimusha yaisim limudai. So it's a story. And the story goes as follows. Rav Ikla lebei Gniva. Rav visited to the house of Gniva. Vitzali, and when Rav went there, Tzali shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos. He davened Shabbos on erev Shabbos. Sometime after Plag, Rav davened an early minyan. Gemaras that speak about being early and things like that are hard for me to learn. They perk me up. It brings up things in me. But the Gemara says that Rav went and he davened early. He davened Shabbos be'erev Shabbos. Then Vayamatzli Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba lachure. Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba davened right behind. Reb Yirmiyah bar Abba was the Talmud Meir of Rav. And he davened right behind Rav. He went behind his Rebbe. I picture it's a shayla exact, a shtickle funny scene. His Rebbe's davening, and Rabbi Yirmiyah started davening Shemana Esrei right behind his Rebbe. He stumbled within his Dalaramas. He mamish part of mud in the spot to pick. His Rebbe's davening Shemona Esrei, and Yirmiyah bar Abba comes right behind his Rebbe, and he davens Shemona Esrei right behind his Rebbe. It's mivur, it's interesting. Rav is davening Ma'ariv. He's davening Shal Shabbos, Erev Shabbos. It's mivur if Yirmiyah bar Abba was davening Mincha. Because he asked Rav, will you Makabel Shabbos? The Kivega speaks out here that he was davening Mincha. That Rav Yirmiyah was davening Mincha. It's interesting. It's a Shail of Eistais. He was davening Mincha, and Rav, his Rebbe, is davening Ma'ariv. It's interesting. If he could be Yaitza Tefillah B'tzibur, the Tzibur is davening one prayer, and you're davening a different. He wasn't l'chayr. You see, it could be even a raya. Yaitza Tefillah B'tzibur. The Gemara doesn't bring that raya, but Rav Yirmiyah davens behind Rav. Rav's davening Shabbos, and Rabbi Yirmiyah is right behind him davening Mincha. There's thoughts about that. Hold that for a few minutes. V'sayim Rav finished, the Rebbe finishes Shemona Esrei earlier. V'loi paske l'tziluse de Rabbi Yirmiyah. He didn't disrupt. Rav didn't take the steps back because he didn't want to disrupt Rabbi Yirmiyah's davening. V'loi paske l'tziluse de Rabbi Yirmiyah. He didn't disrupt the davening of Rabbi Yirmiyah, so Rav didn't take his steps back. That's the story. Shma mina tlas. Says the Gemara, we learned three things from this story. Shma mina mispal adam shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos. You see, you could daven Shabbos, you can bring on Shabbos early. You could daven Shabbos on erev Shabbos. That's one thing. Halacha l'maaseh, psak. Rav did it, that's how we paskin. You could daven shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos. Shma mina, we see a second thing. Mispalel Talmud achure rabbi. A Talmud's allowed to daven. I don't know if it's even allowed or supposed to. Mispalel Talmud achure rabbi. At least the Talmud's allowed to, and perhaps even supposed to. A Talmud davens right behind his Rebbe. V'shma mina, and the third thing we see is Asur laver keneged ha-mispalim. Rav didn't take his steps back at the end of Shemona Esrei because he didn't want to paske with Tziluse Rabbi Yirmiyah. He didn't want to disrupt the davening of Rabbi Yirmiyah. So we see it's usher to pass by somebody's davening. You're not allowed to walk past him. You're not allowed to walk in front of him. He's davening Shemona Esrei. It's usher laver keneged ha-mispalim. You're not allowed to pass by. It's a shaila if the Indian is to disrupt. Is it an Indian of concentration? Let's say the guy behind you is under his talus. He mamish can't see you. His talus is over his head. Is it an Indian of concentration, or is the Shechina there? And you're not allowed to walk. You can't. It's a bezayin to the Shechina. He's davening to Hashem. You can't walk there. It's asur laver keneged ha-mispalim. So that's the three things the Gemara advises. The Gemara proves from these stories. You could daven shel Shabbos erev Shabbos. Halacha l'maaseh. We pass in that way. You're not allowed to walk past Asur laver keneged ha-mispalim b'paskin. But the second thing the Gemara says is a Talmud davens achure rabbi. Shma mina, you see from this story. Frek the Gemara, how could you say, the Gemara says, Rabbi Yirmiyah heichid avid hachi. How did Rabbi Yirmiyah daven achure rabbi? It brings Rabbi Yehuda Marav la'olam al yispar lo'y keneged Rabbi la'achure rabbi. It first brings a memra from Rabbi Yehuda Marav that you're not allowed to daven achure rabbi. By the way, it was Rabbi Yirmiyah's Rebbe Rav who says you're not allowed to daven achure rabbi. It was Rav Alein who says you're not allowed to daven achure rabbi. And here, Azah Chutzpah, Rav says Rav is davening. And Rabbi Yirmiyah davens achure rabbi, and it's Rav himself, his Rebbe, who says the Talmud is not allowed to daven achure rabbi. So how did Rabbi Yirmiyah do this? Rav says you're not allowed. Furthermore, we learned in a Bryce, Rabbi Eliezer says, 4 things cause the Shechina shetisalik me Yisrael. It causes the Shechina to leave, and one of them is the Talmud ha-mispal achure rabbi. It causes the Shechina. It's goyim l'shechina shetisalik me Yisrael. You drive away the Shechina if you daven achure rabbi. So how did Rabbi Yirmiyah do that? Answers the Gemara, Rabbi Yirmiyah was a Talmud chaver. He was a Talmud and a friend. He wasn't just the Talmud of Rav. He was what's called the Talmud Chaver. It's a different relationship. Very interesting relationship, a Talmud Chaver. He was a Talmud, but he was a friend of the Rebbe. Since he's a Talmud Chaver, he's allowed to daven Achrei Rabbi. So I have the following kasha, bothered me a lot. We learned three things from the story, Shema Minah, and one of the Shema Minahs is a Talmud's Mispalel Achrei Rabbi. That a Talmud davens behind his Rebbe. That's one of the three Shema Minahs. But the Gemara says the Talmud's now let a daven Achrei Rabbi. Says the Gemara is a Talmud Chaver. So then, how do you say Shema Minah? A Talmud could daven Achrei Rabbi. That's not true. The Shema Minah was Shema Minah. The Gemara came out Mispalel Talmud Achrei Rabbi. A Talmud davens behind his Rebbe. But then the Gemara said, a Talmud's not let it do that. And for the Gemara, he was a Talmud Chaver. So he was allowed because he's a shtickle, not a Talmud. He was a Chaver. So why did it say Shema Minah Talmud's Mispalel Achrei Rabbi? And if you medaya carefully in the Gemara never challenges the Shema Minah. Three Shema Minahs are all halacha l'maisa. The other two are halacha l'maisa. The Gemara says, "V'Rabbi Yirmiyah heichid avid hachi." How did Rabbi Yirmiyah do it? Doesn't say the Shema Minah sounds like in the Gemara's a maskana. Shema Minah Talmud's Mispalel Achrei Rabbi. It doesn't say, is that true? Talmud's Mispalel? But it doesn't say that. It says, how did Rabbi Yirmiyah do it? Rab says not. It doesn't even challenge the Shema Minah. To conclude from the story that a Talmud could daven Achrei Rabbi is not emes. The Talmud shouldn't and can't. It's Goyim the Shechina Shetesalik Me Yisrael. So the Shema Minah, he was allowed to because he wasn't mamish a Talmud. He was a Talmud Chaver. Als the Chaver he's allowed to. This is the kasha I had on this Gemara. The question, I know if you have a question, you have a question. I know I have a question, I'm bothered. What this says to me, allow me to share, I can't say, when you say, is this the pshat? It's Torah, I know it's Torah, and we have to learn Torah. We have to learn Torah. You have a kasha, you have to think. I don't know the answer. If somebody has an answer, I'm interested. But I want to say what this Gemara brings me to. Why shouldn't the Talmud daven Achrei Rabbi? What's happening here? Why is the Talmud Chaver allowed? So Rashi and Tosfos both say Tosfos has a second pshat, but in one pshat Tosfos says like Rashi, it's gaiva. It's a gaiva. It's the gaiva. It's the gaiva. It seems so humble. He's behind his Rebbe. There's a gaiva, and the gaiva perhaps. Rashi says he shouldn't daven Achrei Rabbi. Nami yuarahu. It's gaiva. It's also, there were other inyanim of yuara, and Rashi says it's also gaiva. It's a gaiva. If you ask a person, you ask a Rebbe, who's your Rebbe, he's unlikely to say, often, I'm not saying a person shlugged up if they say my Rebbe is so-and-so, but often a person will say, my Rebbe, I'm trying it. It's a gaiva. I'm shaykh to that. We look at our Rebbeim. My Rebbe learned by Rav Aaron Kotler. Now I'm having the guy, I'm saying my Rebbe. My Rebbe would just say, I'm a Talmud of Rav Aaron. Sit there and shaykh to Rav Aaron Kotler, Sarah, Torah. So to daven Achrei Rabbi, even behind the Rebbe, is saying, I'm a Talmud, I belong by him. I'm with him. His path of service of Hashem, I'm there too. I'm right behind him. I'm with him. I'm in that. I'm together with that. The Rebbe is somebody is daimel l'malach Hashem tzvakos, and he's saying, I'm shaykh to that. It's a gaiva. It's a gaiva. It's a gaiva. It's arrogant to announce that, to say that. So why is it Talmud Chaver? I suspect, Rabbi said that a Talmud's supposed to daven Achrei Rabbi. You're supposed to daven Achrei Rabbi. I'm shaykh to gadlus. I'm in a neshama. I'm shaykh to big things. Talmidim went to Rav Aaron. It's a pella. It's a pella. My Rebbe met Rav Aaron for the first time. He put on his ring. He grew up in America. He was a kid in America, grew in Ozone Park. He went at 13. He put on a nice ring. He should mamish be mechabed Rav Aaron properly. See, he didn't know anything. So he put on a nice beged, a ring he would never put on. He would never wear stam. But he put it on to see Rav Aaron a Gadol. They were American boys. And they were learning the first Talmidim of Rav Aaron, a Sar HaTorah, an Eish Kodesh. And they're learning by Rav Aaron. Mispalo Talmud Achure Rabbi, we're shaykh to everything. We're shaykh to big, big things. To the biggest things, we're shaykh. And a Talmud's supposed to daven Achure Rabbi, he's shaykh to it. Now don't do it, it's gaiva, don't tell anybody. Be still about it. It's a gaiva to say it, to announce it, be still about it. I wonder that the heter of a Talmud Chaver is not what you think. It's not, well, he's not a Talmud because he's a Chaver, then it shouldn't say Shema Minah, Talmud Mispal Achure Rabbi. Because he's a Chaver, it's not gaiva. If we'll say in the simple terms, if somebody's the same age as the Rebbe, it's not what a Talmud Chaver is, but just l'sabres or eisen. If somebody's the same age, it's not a gaiva to say I belong to him. I'm older. It's not a gaiva. If you solve the gaiva problem, then the Talmud should be mispal Achure Rabbi. Rabbi Yirmiyah was a chaver, so it wasn't a gaiva. So then he should do what a Talmud's supposed to do. He should mispal Achure Rabbi. It's a problem of you, Ara. You don't announce what we're shaykh to. Be'etzem a Talmud's mispal Achure Rabbi. He's shaykh to the biggest things. He's shaykh. The very translation of a rav is a lot, is huge. Asay lecha rav means understand that you're shaykh to big things. Understand the biggest things. Find the Rebbe is Daimel Malach Hashem Tzvakis. So what am I? Yeah. People sat by Rav Aaron because they were shaykh to Rav Aaron. And they were shaykh to the Avodas Hashem of Rav Aaron. And they're shaykh to the Rabbeinu Shalom. And the Rebbe brings them that they're shaykh to the Rabbeinu Shalom. We're shaykh to Hashem. And with all our nisyonos and difficulties and challenges that face all 8 billion human beings on planet Earth. And every yid and every nisyonos for sure. But we're shaykh, a yid with a banim l'Hashem, with a shaykh to the biggest things. And the Talmud's mispal Achure Rabbi, Shema Minah, it's a Shema Minah, it's a maskana. Yeah, there's gaiva, don't do it, don't tell anybody. Maybe like the whispered Baruch Shem. So, Rabbi Yirmiyah, Heichi Avedach, you know, a Talmud, of course, is supposed to, but who's big enough, who could say, like, you announce, Talmud Chaver, so it's not gaiva, he solved gaiva, then he goes back, a Talmud's mispal Achure Rabbi. Maybe. Ken Zayin, maybe, I don't know Pshat, because the Gemara says, Shema Minah Talmud's mispal, and then it said, it's Goyim Nishchin, it's Tzalik Misrael. For Talmud. So there can't be a gaiva. Mitzad Echad, there's the humility of knowing who we, I think these two inyanim are how it works. The humility of our humanness, the humility of being aware of nisyonos, the humility that I don't daven, a feeling of inadequacy is normal, is good, is the humility. And that's the gaiva of the Talmud doesn't daven Achure Rabbi, but he davens Achure Rabbi. He's shaykh to it, he's shaykh, don't tell anybody, it's a gaiva, make sure nobody's around if you do it. But it's a truth that Bekir Rebbe understand that a Talmud's mispal Achure Rabbi. That he's shaykh to big, big things, that we're shaykh to the biggest things. We're just shaykh to big stuff. Sai the Rebbe has to know that the Talmud is mispal Achure Rabbi, and Sai the Talmud has to know he's mispal Achure Rabbi. That he's shaykh to the biggest things. Without compromises, he's shaykh to big, big things, that we're shaykh to big, big things. To understand that. To be clear by us all that we're shaykh to big things. That's the sugya of a Rebbe. That's the sugya of looking up to somebody and being we're shaykh to the Rabbeinu Shalom. There's a Svas Emes, a nifldik Svas Emes. Avram Avinu has these 3 friends, Aner, Eshkol, and Mamre. He has 3 pals. Avram Avinu has 3 friends. And when Hashem appears to Avram, Hashem appears be'Eloinei Mamre. He appears in the plains of Mamre to Avram Avinu. And Chazal say, why did he appear in the Eloinei Mamre? He was nice in Eitz ala Milah. He gave Avram Avinu some advice about Bris Milah. Doesn't tell us what was the advice, what advice was necessary. What's the story? This friend Mamre encouraged Avram in some way with Bris Milah. And Hashem appears to Avram Be'aloinei Mamre. And that all ties in. Hashem's visiting Avram after the Bris Milah. So you understand there's some connection here to Bris Milah. There's some connection to Bris Milah here. And in this connection to Bris Milah, in this inyan of Bris Milah, Hashem in middle of the sugya of Bris Milah, Hashem says that Mamre, I appear in Mamre's chelek. What's this inyan that Hashem appears to Avram in Mamre's chelek? Explains the Sfas Emes the way I understand it. Hashem, when Avram Avinu was given Bris Milah, he was separated from his friends. It was a good. Avram Avinu had a whole chevra of servants of Hashem, big people serving the Rabbeinu Shalom. And Hashem said, Avram, I want you. I want you and I want Zera Avram. Have a Milah. You are mine. You're shaykh to me. And my friends, and all the people, Avram Avinu was Ma'urav ben Abrias. That he knew Das shel kol echad ve'echad. The Lashon HaRambam is his whole chevra. No, I'm separate. That's a difficult sugan. Avram Avinu there was some inyan that was shver. What happens to the rest of the chevra? And Mamre encouraged Avram. Mamre encouraged Avram, go forward. Nasalai Eitz ala Milah, he encouraged Avram, go forward. And then Hashem appears to Avram, Be'aloinei Mamre, in Mamre's field. In Mamre's property. You know what Hashem was saying? If you respect it, if you appreciate it, if you celebrate it, you're shaykh to it too. Be'aloinei Mamre, Hashem appears to Avram. The very inyan of Milah is that we're shaykh to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Anachnu Amoy in the Lashon of the Torah. Anachnu Amoy, we're shaykh to Hashem. With the Am Hashem, we're shaykh to Hashem. That's the very inyan of Bris Milah. We're shaykh to the biggest things. We have a mark on our body that says we belong to Hashem, and ice on our body of shaykh to big zachen, to really big stuff. All of us, we have a bris today, here and now. We're shaykh to big things. And Mamre, Hashem appears to Avram Be'aloinei Mamre. Mamre had that car. He's separate. You're shaykh also. You're shaykh also. You respect. You encourage. You're part of this also. You're shaykh. You're shaykh to big things. Then he appears to Avram Be'aloinei Mamre. If you understand it and mechazek it and celebrate it, you're also shaykh to big things. You're shaykh, and Hashem appears to Avram, the Eloinei Mamre. Mamre, you got it. You didn't see it as something separate from. You saw it, you encouraged it. You were part of it. You were mispal lachure rabba. You understood. You're close to Avram Avinu. And you encouraged the Rebbe and understood, I'm shaykh too. So then Hashem appears to Avram, the Eloinei Mamre. This inyan, Bris Milah is an inyan in Parashat Shemais that we're coming, Moshe Rabbeinu performing a bris on his son, but this inyan that we're shaykh, all of us are shaykh to big things. We have an ice on our body with the Am Hashem, and we're shaykh to big things. I would dare say that the Iker inyan of Shmiras HaBris, people are afraid to talk about Shmiras. I think it has to be spoken about. Shmiras HaBris means that a person understands I'm shaykh to big things. That's what Shmiras. The guy, the Iker Shmiras HaBris is to take a cup of water with the Am Hashem, we're Mishabeya. Shmiras HaBris means a Yid makes a shahakol because I'm shaykh. Mevarech Hashem, thank you Hashem. Hashem wants my bracha. He wants me. A Yid for a minute learns for 60 seconds. Learns Torah. My Torah is precious. Davins a nice Esrei, that's Shmiras HaBris. That's the Iker Shmiras HaBris. Davins a nice, he's shaykh to big things. He understands the bris. I'm shaykh. Anachnu Amoy. That's the Bris Milah. I am Hashem. To be Shomer HaBris means to recognize I'm Hashem's. I belong to Hashem. I'm shaykh to big things. We can't be afraid to speak about Shmiras HaBris. Make a shackle. Be Shomer HaBris. You're a person who's shaykh to Hashem. Open up a Gemara and learn from it. I'm shaykh to big things. Maybe even 3 minutes. Gewaldig. I'm shaykh, and learn sincere and ask a kasha. What does the Gemara mean? And try to figure it out. Say a pshat and be mevakish to emes. Anachnu Yisrael Amei, we're Hashem's people, we're shaykh to big things. Shema mina mispal lachure rabbi, a Talmud. Don't do it. Don't show it's a gaiva. Azah gaiva, azah chiddush. It's a chiddush when I think. When I think over my father's story, a person who went to Haftar, what today is called Haftar was called Highlight. It was the right before Haftar. My father went there. He became a Talmud, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. That was his Rebbe. He had many Greiser Rebbeim. But he became for life, Reb Chaim was the Demos in front of my father was Reb Chaim. He went to Yeshivas, a mixed yeshiva. Yidden trying, it's not a kasha. There's no Greiser. I don't have a kasha. By Shiva, people were asking to come. Where did it happen? There's no cash. I don't have a teretz because I don't have a cash. If I had a cash, I'd come up with teretzim. A Yid is shaykh to grace Zachen, to big things. Mispal ladam achure rabbi. Somebody can ask, where's it shaykh? Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, a Kaddish Elyon. And somebody coming, my father described to us many times his first encounter with Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. His first time he asked the kasha to his Rebbe Reb Chaim. He describes the encounter stayed with him all his life. All his life, that encounter. He had many conversations, the ava that Reb Chaim had for the Talmidim and the Talmidim had for the Rebbe, Lo Yu'umen. But all his life he described that first meeting with his Rebbe. He was wearing something like jeans. He came from America, and he spoke to his Rebbe. It was ava. It was love at first sight. Mamish, a connection. Mispalel Talmud Achure Rabbi. A Talmud is shaykh to the biggest things. We're shaykh to big stuff. A Yid is shaykh to big things. It's just true. It's not a kasha. It's not a kasha at all. He came from Haftar, a yeshiva, teaching Torah, being Mekar of Yidden. Bringing people, and a person could go and speak to Reb Chaim Shmulevitz and ask him a kasha and learning, and then spend a lifetime learning Hashem's Torah. Because mispalel Talmud Achur, it's a gaiva. It's a gaiva. Don't announce it to everybody. Maybe don't practically. Don't go behind your Rebbe. Heich Avad Yavir Miyachi. The kasha is not. Was it a Talmud supposed to? Heich Avad or before Tered Rabbi Yirmiyah. Like you're just gonna as a gaiva. You're gonna just do it public. In your heart, you should know Mispalel Talmud Achur Rabbi. You see that person in the front davening and has reached big madregas. You should know Mispalel Talmud Achur Rabbi. You belong to that. It's a gaiva. Look around. Make sure nobody sees. And if it's a gaiva, so then find a different place. But understand your place is there. You're shaykh to that, and you're shaykh to big things. That's what we have to. We have to know. That's an emes. That's a truth that every single Ben Torah has to know. Every single Yid has to know that we're shaykh to very big things, to the biggest things. We're shaykh to Hashem. Anachnu Amei. We're shaykh to the biggest things. That's a truth everybody has to know. It's a shema mina from the story. Unkin shaylos. Yidden, our whole ummah is thinking about Yidden returning home. That's what's on our mind. We're not getting involved in the psak of anything. It's not. None of us are paskening. To us, a Yid's walking home is exciting. A Yid's coming home. This is the sugya in front of Am Yisrael. A Yid's coming home. A Yid's coming home is a sugya in Am Yisrael. That's a good sugya. A Yid coming home. A Yid shaykh to be home. A Yid belongs home, and a Yid's coming home. That's a sugya. All of us, the Rebbeinu Shalom Shemizake, every Yid to come home. Every Yid to come. We're shaykh to home. We're wanted at home, and we're shaykh to big things. That's every Beis Medrash has to be a place that a Yid's shaykh, a Yid's welcome home. A Yid's welcome home. Here a Yid's welcome. Here a Yid's wanted. Here a Yid's appreciated. Yerushalayim Nidche Yisrael Yechanes. Somebody's pushed away. A Yid here is wanted. A Yid here belongs. A Yid here has space. Whenever you come to Yerushalayim, you face a lot of construction. I love it. It's so right. There's just construction. Yerushalayim, your picture. That's what Yerushalayim is about, the building of a people. A people who's building. Osim shiputzim, we're fixing, we're building, we're coming. More is yet to come. The future home of things are being constructed and building. More are being invited. There's room for more. There's more to come. That's the mitzias of a Rebbe, that I'm shaykh to big things. Struggles, yeah, all of us, human beings, difficulties, nisyonos, nefilas, it's all true. but shaykh to big things. Shaykh, there's stuff coming. There's big things coming. There's big things. The Yid's coming home. He's coming. He's coming. We're building. We're constructing. More are coming. More of us is coming, and more of us are coming. Yidden are coming home. This is the sugi of Am Yisrael, Yidden coming home. We should be zeichet to see how Ramas carrying Yisrael. Yidden knowing what Yidden are shaykh with the Am Hashem and Achni Yisrael Amri. My father's working with me. I always struggle with times. That's a sign I'm getting better. As Hashem. And now my wife has way too much fun watching. I'm running to make the minyan on time, and she's just laughing, running. I'm doing well. She's excited. My father was a very timely person, like a yachid b'doyrei in time, and he had a son like me. I don't know what happened, but he was very timely, and now I feel like he's working on me, and he's like, not bad. And I'm seeing the davenings. It's kedai to come on time to davenings, and I'm seeing more and seeing davening extra Shemana Esreis. I see how many times we say in Shemana Esrei about our people is amazing. It's so repeated. Besides Hashem, of course, is Ata Hashem Melech Olam. The word most frequently in Shemana Esrei, I believe. I'm reading a lot of them, almost 5 a day. Some days 5, minimum 4 Shemana Esreis a day. Depends if you do a short Shemana Esrei mincha. And the amount of times we say Amma Yisrael, Hashem's people. Avad the davenings, all we're praying for our Klal Yisrael, for the Tzibur. The amount of times from Rifa'enu, Chaylei Amma Yisrael, Hashem's people, Tkab Shoifrim, Mekabis Nidchei Amma Yisrael, Hashem's nation. Over and over that phrase in different nuschais, but it's repeatedly in Shemana Esrei. All the time we're speaking about the Am Hashem, the Kiyat Shemeh Tfilas Amcha Yisrael, your nation Hashem, Tamid Avodas Yisrael Amecha, Ritzei Hashem Kenu Ba'amcha Yisrael V'Sfilasam. It's over and over the people of Hashem, all the way till the end of Shemana Esrei, over and over. I'll call Yisrael Amecha. HaMevarech is Amma Yisrael. It's like the theme of Shemana Esrei, Hashem's nation, Hashem's people. K'vayden shel Yisrael, Hashem's people. Am Hashem, Amcha Yisrael. It's repeated in Shemana Esrei an incredible number of times. Hashem's people. So we should take a seed. Hashem's people should know who we are, what we're shaykh. Hashem says they're mine. That means we're shaykh, incredibly shaykh to Him. We're shaykh to big things. We should be aware we're shaykh to big things, and all of Am Yisrael should be aware. Ashreyam shekach alay, Ashreyam.